Grand Rising Divine Legends. Welcome to the love practice. I was on with an energy worker who is so proficient with energy. And wow, am I buzzing. So I am so excited to be here right now to share this practice and to remind us, as we will also unpack the universal law of love, that in every social media post I have put up since 2021, I will say, I can confidently remember that it for sure started in 2021, maybe even in 2020. Every single post I put up on any social media platform, hashtag love wins always. My journey has confirmed to me that it is love. At the end of it all, it is love. Love wins always, in all ways. Let's unpack the universal law of love, and then let's get into the practice, and I will unpack more about why I hashtag love wins always, and I'm buzzing so hard with the truth of that this morning. Universal law of love card out of the deck that Dr. Erin Fall Haskell created for us to remind ourselves and how much our life gets better and better and better and better when we align to the universal laws. It's the truth. And I'm here to show you what is possible. So as my life continues to get better and better, because I know at every cell level at this point, love wins always. It does. It just is. It's the truth. Universal law of love tells us love informs creation. And the law is the internal mechanism of life. It is. The internal mechanism of life is love. It is love that guides all things to order, harmony, and oneness. If the creative process is inverted to create chaos, to create harm, or to create disorder, which we have the power to do, and you can see it happening on the daily, all around you, the misuse of our energetic process, our creative process of moving the energy that we are. Unknowingly, we misuse the energy, we misuse the creative process, we invert it to create chaos, harm, and disorder. We see it all around. The law of love will bound its effects, meaning it cannot go on endlessly. Chaos cannot go on endlessly. Harm cannot go on endlessly. Disorder cannot. It cannot. It is not the universal law of how creative process works. Harmony, love brings it back into bounds. Love is the expression and expansion of spirit through us as these human vessels, channeling the divine, every single one of us. And it's the awareness that brings us into harmony with our creative process and gets us creating the peace and harmony that we so desperately desire to see in our reality. Through desire in terms of creation, through you as you. All of life is designed to awaken the self to greater love. True, 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 all the way true in my life has been my experience as I have gotten out of my own way over and over and over and over and over. And it happens a lot of the time on the mat. So that's why we're here and why I'm so excited to share this practice with you in the pink outfit to represent the love in motion that I know I am. We're going to pray this in first. We're going to do a spiritual mind treatment, knowing that the energy is powerfully flowing at this point. I want to harness it for this practice to reach those that need to know, that need to be reminded, that need to remember that we come back to the knowing it's always love. Love trying to get your attention through every happening in your life. You're creating it. You are creating your reality. And quite often it's to get your own attention to come back to the truth of love. It's the truth. And I will unpack that more with you one-on-one if you reach out. But for right now, let's pray this practice in and know that as we come back into the magical middle that we find on the mat, we align to love. And it is love that wins in our creative process to create that which we truly desire. And we then influence all of those around us. It's how energy works. So rub those hands together, create some heat, remind yourself how powerful of a creator you actually are. You can just simply rub hands and create some incredible heat. That's how powerful we are. Put one hand on the heart, other hand on top of that. Let that beating of the heart remind you your heart beats for you. Take a deep breath. Let that go. Take another deep breath. Let that go. Taking one more big deep breath. Let go. And just coming into the remembering and the knowing that it is oneness. It is oneness with love. It is oneness with the creative process of your own authentic expression, loving your own self so deeply, accepting yourself so deeply, and remembering that everything is perfectly unfolding permanently. There is nothing wrong. And we come into that magical middle of perfect peace, pure potential, and we create that which we truly desire. When we find that sound mind, we remember we are not divided. We are not separate from love at all. And we create in co-creation with ultimate infinite love that is expressing through us as us. And so as I am remembering and aware on such a deep level at this point that I am love in motion and I am loving myself in this practice and I am bringing this practice forward to remind those that practice with me that all is well and that love wins always in all ways. Lifting this up into the divine line with so much gratitude. We're going to come on the back. We're going to bend up the knees, take the feet a little wider to the edges of the mat. Let the knees knock together. Feel your shoulder blades really spread out as you lay back real flat, right? No pinching there. If you wiggle a little, make sure there's lots of space in your shoulder blades. Take the hands onto your abdomen. Let your knees knock together. Feet are flat to the edges of your mat. Like I said, maybe wiggle the low back a little bit into the mat to feel supported. Relax. And start to breathe here. So taking some big breaths, and we're allowing the body to feel safe right away. With the hands on the abdomen, that's a clear signal to our gut brain. Yes, that I am safe. I am safe here on my mat. Remembering that safety is where it starts. To connect deeply to the infinite is that expression of ultimate love. Unconditional love that says, I accept you, you belong, you are perfect just as you are. We receive that when we feel safe. So we come onto the mat and we create safety within the body right away, bending up the knees, supporting the low back, hands on the abdomen, telling our body, you are safe, you are safe, you are safe, you are safe to feel what you feel, you are safe to be here now, you are safe to let go of that which no longer serves, an upset, a disagreement, a disappointment, an expectation that is not met. We let it go. We come back to remembering that it's love, 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 love winning, love winning, love winning, love winning, love winning. It truly is love winning always and always. Take another breath. Allowing your body to fully relax, fully relax. We're going to spend a couple more minutes here. We're just going to fully relax into the mat with the hands on the belly and the knees knocked and the low back settling with every breath cycle. We're releasing out of the hip area. We're releasing out of the pelvic floor area. We're releasing out of the abdomen area. We're releasing out of the womb area. We're releasing through the breath, just taking those big, deep breaths. Receiving love into your body right now with your breath, receiving that love that says everything's okay. Relax, relax, relax. This is the practice of coming back into that equilibrium, that place of pure peace that's beyond the finite understanding. Recognizing what powerful creators of our own reality we are from that place of perfect peace, pure potential. That's where we want to be creating our realities from. We're letting go of the limited beliefs that tell us anything other than the truth of love. Letting go of fear, letting go of confusion, letting it go, letting it go. One more full breath here. On your next inhale, you're going to draw your right knee into your chest and lengthen your left leg out onto the mat. Let the foot be soft, maybe turned out a bit so that hip is opening up. Squeeze your right knee in. Roll your right ankle around both directions. Exhale all the way here. And on your inhale, switch. Bringing that left knee in, letting that right leg go long. Let the foot be loose, turned out just a bit, opening that hip. Squeeze that left knee in, roll that ankle around. We're going to flow as we switch. So we'll inhale, bring the right knee in as that left leg goes long, and we'll exhale as we squeeze that right knee into the chest. Inhale, switch, left knee coming in, right leg long, and as we exhale, we squeeze that left knee in. Inhale, switch. Exhale, squeeze. Switch. Squeeze. We'll do that one more on each side. Inhale, switch. Squeeze. One more. Squeeze. Bring both knees into your chest. You can hug across the shins or behind the knees. Stay off your actual knees. Roll across your low back. Come all the way onto the side of your hip, maybe finding the side of your head, deeply rolling across that low back, breaking up the myofascia on that low back with your own body weight. Keep staying in those long, smooth breaths, inhaling and exhaling out the nose or the mouth if that feels better, but stay in the breath. We'll come through center, we'll cross the ankles, and we'll rock the length of the spine. So I'm going to rock a few times. You want your hands behind your knees. You're going to rock up and back onto your shoulder blades as much as that feels good. Kicking my pant a little bit there. Rocking the whole length of the spine. It feels so good. I'm going to get a couple more. Trying to get all the way up onto the shoulder blades. One more time. And then ankles cross. Come on to your knees. Find the space on your mat for your tabletop. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Wag your tail when you get there just to check your alignment. Right? You can feel if you got to adjust the knees or the hands under the shoulders when you wag the tail, and we'll come through center and we'll cat-cow the breath a few times. So inhaling, lifting chin, lifting tailbone. And as you exhale, push the floor away round your back. Scoop your belly in, tuck your chin, and we'll inhale, lift, lengthen. And exhale, push, round and scoop. I'm going to tuck my toes on this next round, starting to get into some more of the body. I like to pull back a little bit towards my heels into somewhat of a child pose. I'm going to bend into my elbows next, getting a little deeper into the arms. 2 more rounds, adding in as it feels good to you. Getting into your joints. 1 more. We're going to come into down dog next. So take those hands up to your short edge. Monkey grip that mat, finding those fingertips and heel of your hand, creating a little bit of space in the center of the palm. It's more, safe protection for the wrist. Belt tight. We're going to find our way up slowly. Inhale, lift your knees. Hover them over the mat, and then exhale, set them back down. Keep your toes tucked. Belt tight around your waist, flat back. Inhale, lift the knees, hovering. Exhale, set the knees down. Last time, we're going to hover the knees on the inhale, and then pick the hips up on your exhale into your down dog. Press your heels toward the mat. Feel your arms fully long, locked into your shoulder sockets. You can walk your dog if that feels good, or you can stay in that stillness. And right away, we're going to start to baby step up. So it's those tiny little steps we take, pressing the heel down every time, walking toward the hands. Tenting the fingers as we get closer to stay connected to the mat. We're stretching the back of the leg the whole way in to that forward fold at that top edge of your mat. You're taking your time, little baby steps the whole way up. Feel that good stretch down the back of the leg. When you reach that top edge, settle into your forward fold. Keep your knees slightly bent. Let the belly rest on the thighs, nice and heavy through the upper body. Maybe sway a little bit. Take your head side to side, say no. Come through center, lift the chin and tuck it, say yes. And then like a rag doll, we'll roll up. So go heavy and slow. Arms will be nice and heavy. Keep the belt tight around your waist to protect your low back. You're coming up 1 vertebrae at a time. You're keeping your chin tucked the whole time. It's the last piece. As we stand tall, the shoulders will roll up toward the ears and back down. And then that chin slowly comes up, allowing that blood to fill the head without passing out, right? Find your mountain pose. So we're going to tighten the belt, lift the kneecaps, ground down through the feet, shoulders soft away from the ears, palms forward. or toward those legs if you need more for the shoulders. If you have tight shoulders, you are not going to want to have your palms forward, and that's okay, right? Yoga is meant to build that relationship with your own body, and Yada yoga is therapeutic yoga. So we make it work for our body to really enjoy and benefit from the practice. It's not about how we look, it's about how we feel. Closing the eyes down are heavy. We're just staying in our mountain pose for a moment, just feeling that grounded down through the mat. Noticing your arches of your feet, noticing if they're collapsed inward or if they're highly lifted and you're rounding out to the outer edges of your feet, right? You want to find some even distribution through your feet, evenly distributed across the ball of your foot and your heel, feeling the arches slightly lifted. That's what you're going for. Toes are pointing forward as much as you can, depending on what you're working with in your hips and your knees. Taking one more breath here, just enjoying the stillness, the groundedness, the intro perception, checking into your body, noticing. And then with your next inhale, eyes open up, we'll reach up, take a big inhale, bring the hands through heart center and hinge from your hips as you fold down. Halfway lift on your next inhale. Exhale, fold down. We're going to root down, rise up, sweep up, bend the knees, reach those arms overhead, maybe look as the hands meet overhead, and then draw hands through heart center. Press the palms together, opening up the wrists. We're going to root, do that all again. Inhale, reach up. Hinging from the hips, flat back as you fold over and rounding at the bottom. Halfway lift on your next inhale, finding that length in the spine and the legs. And then exhale, folding down. Root down, rise up, sweep up, maybe look up. Press the palms together as you come through heart center, opening the wrists up all the way as you draw those palms down through your heart. You feel the wrists opening up. Inhale, reach up. Hinge from your hips, flat back as you fold over, rounding at the bottom. Halfway lift on your next inhale. Fold down. Root down, rise up, sweep up. Press the palms all the way through heart center. We got that one more time, and then we'll move a little bigger. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Halfway lift on your next inhale. Exhale, fold. This time, plant your hands under your shoulders. Step your right leg back, low lunge. Frame that foot with your hands. Look up and out. Feel that stretch in your hip flexor. We're going to take this right hand close to the left foot. Keep this left foot over the ankle, pulling in. It wants to fall out if you're not practiced. Keep it pulling in. Reach that left arm up, and we're going to make some circles for the shoulder, reaching back toward the heel and sweeping it forward. Again, reach it back to the heel and sweep it forward. One more, reach it back. Sweep it forward, reach up, frame the foot, stepping into down dog, lifting the hips, walking the dog or finding stillness, taking a breath. And then we'll baby step in again. So go slow. Take your time, pressing the heel down every time, feeling that nice stretch down the back of the leg, lovingly addressing any tightness through our legs, right? Our legs do so much for us every day to keep us going. So we're tenderly caring for these legs as we baby step up, tenting those fingers, staying connected. Find your forward fold. Slightly bend the knees, let your belly rest, let the whole upper body go heavy. This time, grab your elbows with opposite hands and gently sway side to side. Take that tension out of your low back. Stay in your breath. Come through center. Roll up like a rag doll. Go slow. Keep your knees bent. One vertebrae at a time. Arms are heavy. Chin stays tucked. As you grow tall, the shoulders roll first, then the chin, last piece, lifts up. Let's go again. Inhale, reach up. Hinge from your waist, folding flat back, rounding at the bottom. Halfway lift with your next inhale. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step the left leg back now for that low lunge. Plant the hands next to the foot, framing it and look out. Get that hip flexor stretch. Take that left hand closer to the right foot. Keep the right knee pulling in as you reach that right arm up toward the sky. Fingers are spread so the whole arm is engaged. We'll take that arm, reach it back toward the heel and sweep it forward, opening up the shoulder. Go slow. There's no reason to rush this at all. Just enjoy this big shoulder opener. One more inhale, reach it back. Exhale, reach up. Frame the foot. And down dog next. So stepping back into that down dog again. Finding the stillness or walking the dog. And on your next inhale, you'll find your tippy toes, knees bent, look at thumbs, and we'll walk, step, or hop into that front edge on our exhale. Halfway lift on your next inhale. Exhale, fold down. Root down, rise up, sweep up. Exhale, hands through heart center. We're going to do that again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold over this time, maybe swan dive with those arms going wide. If that's not right for you, keep them coming through heart center. Halfway lift on your next inhale. Exhale, fold down, plant the hands, right leg back, low lunge. Inhale, look out. Exhale, find that hand close to that left foot, reach that left arm up. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, sweep just one of these. Take another inhale. And we're going to find our chaturanga high-low push-up next. So plank pose from here. Inhale, shift forward. And then you can stay on the toes if that's your practice, or find your knees, elbows, squeeze that tennis ball. So those elbows skim the body, the biceps, triceps stay engaged the whole time, coming all the way down or halfway down. Baby cobra on your next inhale, or up dog if you're on your toes. And then exhale into down dog, knowing you can tuck toes, push the hips into the heels, and lift from there. Is always an option to get into down dog. It's a little more gentle for the body. Breathing here in the stillness, or walking the dog if that feels better to you. One more breath. Come to the tippy toes with your next inhale. Bend your knees, look at your thumbs, and walk, step, or hop into that front edge. Halfway lift on your next inhale. Exhale, fold down. Root down, rise up, sweep up. And exhale, hands through heart center. And we go again the other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Arms are wide or through heart center. You get choices there. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold, hands plant. We step the left leg back for that low lunge. Plant the hands next to the foot. Look out with your inhale. As you exhale, you're drawing that left leg foot in, reaching that right arm up. One more breath, one breath here. Reach back on the inhale. Exhale, sweep it forward. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, you're coming into your plank pose. When we're moving through that high-low push-up again. Inhale, shift forward to make space for the thoracic spine as you come down. Shoulder girdles locked into place. Shoulders are away from the ears. Up dog or cobra on your next inhale. And down dog on your exhale, knowing you can tuck the toes and push the hips into the heels or roll over the feet to get Up into your up dog, down dog, excuse me. 2 more breaths here. We're going to come to the tippy toes, bend the knees on the next inhale. Get the thumbs, and as you exhale, walk, step, or hop into that front edge. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Root down, rise up, sweep up. Exhale, heart through heart center. And breathe. You can close the eyes down or they can go heavy. Notice the feet. Notice if your arches are collapsed or you're on the outside edge. Find some even distribution through your whole foot. Notice if the kneecaps are engaged. Quads turned on, pelvic floor neutral. Just breathing here. Feeling that energy moving through the body. Checking in. Slowing the breath down, finding that long, even inhale and exhale cycle. One more breath here. And we're going to move through that high-low push-up several times, building heat, building strength, taking us toward the end of the practice for some deeper stretches on our backs. But let's move a little bigger still for a few more moments. Taking a big inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold over how you like. Halfway lift, inhale. As you exhale, plant the hands, stepping or hopping into your plank pose. We inhale, shift forward. Squeeze that tennis ball as we lower knees or toes all the way or halfway down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. One breath. Next inhale, we find the tippy toes, bend the knees, look at the thumbs, and we walk, step, or hop into that front edge on the exhale. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Root down, rise up, sweep up on the inhale, maybe look up. Exhale, hands through heart center. We're going to do that again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold over. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Plant the hands, step into your plank pose. Shift forward on your inhale. Exhale, lower down, knees or toes. Shoulders are soft away from the ears. Belt is tight around the waist. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Long through the whole thoracic spine and then exhaling into your down dog. One breath. Inhale, tippy toes, bend the knees, look at the thumbs. Exhale, walk, step, hop into that front edge. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Root down, rise up, sweep up. Baby, look up. Hands through heart center. One more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold over. Halfway lift. Exhale, find that plank pose. Inhale, shift forward. Knees or toes, we lower down. Halfway lift. Cobra or up dog on that inhale. Down dog on your exhale. 3 full breaths. Child pose if that's what you need. Listen to your body. Do what feels right for you. One more breath. If you're in that child pose, you're going to meet me in tabletop. Down dog, we'll just drop the knees under the hips. Bring the hands under the shoulders, untuck those toes, and wag your tail side to side. We'll find a nice shoulder stretch next. So from our tabletop, keep your hips over your knees. We'll inhale this right arm up into the air. And we're going to thread it underneath this left arm all the way through, coming onto the shoulder, coming onto that temple of your head. You can keep that left hand where it is. Breathe into the shoulder opener on the right side. Or you can get more for that left shoulder by extending that arm up to your short edge, flatten the palm, and get a puppy dog pose for that left arm, opening that shoulder in a different way, breathing into this. One more breath here. On your next inhale, this left arm, if you moved it, comes back under the shoulder. We press into the mat. As we're exhaling, we're lifting this arm up into the air. Take an inhale here, tucking that thumb, cross the fingers over, roll that wrist out both directions. As you exhale, you're bringing that hand back under the shoulder. And we'll go to that other side. Inhale, lift that left arm up. Exhale, thread it through, come down onto the shoulder, onto the side of the head. Now we can keep the right hand right where it is. Or we can extend it up to that top edge. Feel that deeper stretch opener on the right shoulder in a puppy dog pose for that arm. Breathe into this. One more breath. So inhale, this right hand comes back down if it moved. Exhale, this left arm up into the air. Inhale as you tuck the thumb, cross the fingers over, roll that wrist out, both directions. And then exhale that hand under the shoulder. We're going to come on to the back, but we're going to work our abs to get there. So find your seat, find your legs out in front of you. You can keep them long or you can bend them up. That will make it less intense. You take yourself slower than you want to go. So this is a trick that I like to bring into my classes to turn on our transverse abdominal chain, do a little ab work here. It's just a quick way I sneak it in. This makes it really intense. You're really getting into the abs here. So you're just going slower than you want to go. And you're inviting that shaking and quaking, right? It's working. We're working our way down. Some ab work here, staying in it as long as you can. I'm going to get one more breath here. And then I'm going to let it go. And I'm going to lay back. I'm going to reach overhead. I'm going to point my toes and I'm going to feel that really nice stretch through the whole front of the body as the low back lifts off the mat. It's okay. Shoulders stretching, sides of the body stretching. And then let that go. Find a bridge pose. We're going to bend up the knees, bring those feet closer to our glutes. Your fingers might find them, might be close. Doesn't matter. Settle your low back into the mat. Nice and heavy. Keep that belt tight around your waist. On your next inhale, with your flat back against the earth, we're going to lift the hips one vertebrae at a time. Go slower, peeling them up like a string of pearls. And then we're going to exhale the same way down. So just like a string of pearls, one vertebrae at a time, and we'll lengthen the tailbone out at the end. We're going to flow that with our breath. So inhaling, peeling up one vertebrae at a time. Really feeling the spine lifting and then exhaling like a wave, bringing it down one vertebra. So really noticing each point of your spine as you're setting it down, lengthening the tailbone at the end. Inhale, lift, slowly curling up, feeling that stretch happening through the quads to the tops of the knees. And then exhaling it down slowly, feeling your whole spine set back down one vertebrae at a time onto the mat. We got two more like that. This is definitely building your interoception, right? Noticing what's happening inside of your body. Stay in your breath. Exhaling down slowly, slowly, slowly. One more. And slowly down on the exhale. Just the arms now. We'll take the hands and face your palms towards your hips. So your pinkies are on your mat and your thumbs are pointing up. Spread the arms so spread the fingers so the whole arm engages. And as you inhale, keep the belt tight around your waist. You want to protect your low back in this movement. We're just taking the arms overhead. I'm going to make a little more space here so I'm not hitting my plant behind me. And we're touching the thumbs behind us. And we're just going to exhale. Same idea. Pinkies touch the mat next to our hips. And we're going to flow that, inhaling up and back, maybe touching down. Maybe we don't quite make it because our shoulders are really, really tight. So that's what you're noticing. You're noticing, can you touch the fingers or can they get close? Where are you today? Inhaling up and overhead. Exhaling back down. One more. And exhale back down. On your next inhale, spread your arms nice and wide from your shoulders, palms up. So coming into some final loving postures. This is really meant to love on our body here at the very end of this practice. That's meant to bring us back into our love, the love that is here for us at all times. Take your right arm and reach it over your chest. Let the hand settle underneath your armpit. A little bit of pull on that shoulder blade there. And then the left arm will come up over the right. And same idea, pull on that shoulder blade a little bit. So you're hugging your torso as you're opening up those shoulder blades. Tighten the belt around your waist, flex your right foot, draw it up over your left thigh, and press your right knee away. Getting into that hip, breathe in there. You can invite a little bit of rocking, right? It's going to change up that stretch just a little bit, noticing what's happening in the hip there as we're hugging the torso, telling our body, you are safe to release, right? There's a psoas muscle deep down in this hip area that likes to store old memories, old emotions. So we can, with intent, with breath, with focus, release out of that muscle. With your next inhale, release your arms, reach through to this left leg, draw this knee towards your chest. Let your left foot be very heavy, but keep your right foot flexed, protecting your ankle and your knee. You can hold that stillness or you can invite a little bit of rocking. One more breath here. And we'll get into a twist. So we're going to take this knee, push it through so your knees are hugging each other. Let the feet be heavy. Dig your left heel into the earth, and we're going to drop the knees off to the left. So you want to stack your hips by pushing that heel into the earth. You could stack your hips on top of each other. Let the knees draw over to that left side. That's going to keep your spine long and allow your shoulder to stay connected as you look out that right side, right arm long. The neck, notice. And if you can, turn your head slowly from side to side, just giving your neck a little bit of love here. Go slow. One more breath here. Tight belt to protect the low back as you transition back onto your back. Release the legs back into that bridge pose, right? Heels close to the glutes, knees bent. We'll settle the low back in again. Tighten that belt around the waist. Shoulder blades nice and wide across the flat back and spread your arms out wide. We got the other side, so we're going to take the left arm up over the chest. Squeeze on that shoulder blade a little bit, pulling on that. Right arm up over the left, same idea, pull on the shoulder blade. So you're opening the back of the body as you're hugging the front of the body. Yes. And then again, tighten that belt, flex your left foot, draw it up over your right thigh, press your left knee away. And we're in that same area, releasing out of the psoas as best as we can, just thinking about releasing what no longer serves here. Letting go of any old memory, emotion that may be coming up. Recognizing we're making room for what is new, for what is good, for what is right. Recognizing this practice brings us into balance with our own selves on every level. Through the practice, we find the balance. Maybe rocking a little bit, getting into that hip a little deeper. We have one more breath here. On your next inhale, you'll let the arms go, reach through for that right leg, draw that knee towards your chest. Let that right foot be heavy, but the left foot stays flexed to protect your low back or your ankle and your knee. And then you're going to rock if that feels good, or you're going to hold the stillness. Staying in the breath, really enjoying these last postures of pure love onto the body. Really, these are most deeply restorative, loving postures that we can get on our mat. Some of, right? Not the most, but some of the best postures to love on our body. We're going to end with that twist again here. So we're going to push that knee through so the knees kiss, the feet go heavy, but we're going to dig the right heel in to stack the hips as the knees rock off to that right side of the mat, keeping the spine long, keeping the shoulders connected. We can look down that left arm. This right hand gives a little pressure on the knee to keep the hips releasing all the way on your mat. And then if you want to invite a little bit of rocking in the neck area, go slow. Don't pull anything. Stay in your breath. One final breath here. Inhaling onto the back with the belt tight to protect. As we transition, you're going to hug your knees into your chest one last time. Maybe rock a little bit across that low back. Taking one more breath here. I'm going to bring you up into seated position to end our practice today. You want to rock off to one side, find a fetal position, or you can cross your ankles and rock your spine up into seated and face me. Either way, find your seated position on your mat facing me. Finding that tall spine, finding the shoulders soft away from the ears. Closing down the eyes, hands can stay at the knees or be on the mat. Staying in your breath. Eyes are closed, you're in your breath, just enjoying the last few breaths here together. Checking in with yourself, checking in and saying, I love you, I'm listening, and see what comes up. And we're going to take a final breath together. So if you want to open your eyes with me, we're going to inhale up, recognizing this infinite peace that is always around for us to access, exhaling, receiving it deeper within our hearts to share with our families, our friends, our neighbors, even those that trigger us. The light in me honors, cherishes, delights in that same light in you, divine legend. Namaste. And may you know that love wins always. Bless.